Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Love you guys. Thanks for coming on over today. I'm going to show you my Smash book, which is my May 2022 glue book. I'm making one every month this year, and I'm looking forward to my year, and it's going to be a tight squeeze in June and July and August. Anyway, I'll try to get one done every month this year. That's the plan. But yeah, this is my May book, and it's just made out of old envelopes and just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. It's about 30 some pages, 36 I believe. So yeah, all kinds of stuff is in here and things that are current to me in the month of May of 2022. So there are in here a lot of painted papers that have been inspired from various artists. I've got magazine pages that I painted on, newspaper I painted on, and some notebooks that I just pulled out that I wasn't using otherwise. So I just did some painting on those and stenciling and stamping and some fun stuff. Some stamps that I made from inspiration from some artists. And also in this book, I have some new pens, these new paint pens, and my new microns that I've got this month, and all this stuff, all this artistic expression is in here, along with other current events that are relevant to me in this month. So you'll see what I mean by that as we do the flip through. So I'm going to set these things aside and we'll get on inside. First of all, the closure is made out of an avocado mesh packaging net thing fun mesh. You can use this for stenciling or on a jelly plate, and I burnt the edges with my lighter just so it won't fray, but I don't know if it's gonna last. I can see it's already kind of falling apart. I'm a little regretful of the color choices on my cover. It looks a little bit like an October Smash book or glue book with the colors, but you know, it's fun enough. I mean, I just wanted to have a color play on the front of this. Stamps on there, and then also to open it up, I did a little doodle play here with my new microns, and in the style of Alyssa Burke, Expressive Sketching. Check her out. She's great. So let's go on inside and see what we got. So here's a little post-it of some of the artists that I've done. Here's some of the papers that I made and cut into hexagons, and I've got another page of those too. A card made in the traditional glue book style. And we've had snow in my tulips this year, got snow on them. So they're tiptoeing through the tulips, but in the snow. And that was from Garden & Gun magazine. I have one that they sent me, was the June and July issue, that I got in May. So I'm going to qualify it. I didn't realize that when I started cutting it up and using it for pictures and stuff in here. But yeah, it's qualified for May, even though it's June and July. This 10 Things About Me is when I discovered I wanted to get some new white pens. And so I landed on these, and they're pretty good. And you'll see a little bit of what those look like in here. This is not them. It's this, I'm not sure what pen I used for that, but it was just on black paper, and it was just really giving me fits when I was trying to write on it. Anyways, so fun papers that I create this month. I made those papers. Had some fun with stamp makings, and these faces ended up being like scraps and stuff from other projects I was having fun working on. So these are some of the face stamps that I have. In the background is an inspiration from Helen at Moss Cottage. And she was doing a little portfolio of color combinations that she's having making a little resource book for herself. So yeah, I did kind of the same thing on that. In here is just some receipts and lists from things that I've purchased this month. And our town of Laramie got a New Jersey Mike's. So my husband's been enjoying that. And just some few foods that I eat, not this of course, but the scrapers that I bought I use for painting. And just know this right here does not glue down, so I ended up having to staple it. Here's an Amazon list. Here is my supplements list as I'm working on my health journey. And hey, have you ever looked up Fodder School? Because that's kind of in this vein right here. Check those videos out. These are my painted papers. This one right here you can see, and then a black, white, and silver one that I just made a few things out of and glued it on here. Check out Fodder School. That's really fun. lots of stuff with that. Here's all the shows that we're streaming in the evenings right now. And yeah, so not a big deal that. Let's see. We have a new Les Schwab, and that doesn't seem like a big deal to you guys, but there wasn't a Les Schwab here where we lived when we moved here, but they have other tire stores. We haven't needed them for the most part, just for rotations and stuff, and they've been fine, but we just recently got a Les Schwab, and so one of them transited over into a Les Schwab, and we're happy about that because Les Schwab is from Oregon. Just a little tidbit of information there. Here's some more of my stamps. This stamp right here is this round one. How fun is that? And this X one is actually another stamp that I created, but new pens and stamps on this page. Some doodling. And I read The Princess Bride, and not the actual book. This is a 30th edition anniversary book, Princess Bride by S. Morgenstern, the classic tale of true love and high adventure. My son-in-law has this 30th edition book, and it's this big. It's large, and it had a really cool rubbing on it. So I did that and used with some tracing paper. So I just did a rubbing on that and set it in here with a little description of things. And just to let you know, the book is quite different than the movie. So anyway, you can thank William Goldman, who produced the film from the novel. So, and the situation where he's actually sick and Grandpa's reading it to him, that actually happened to him. He was sick and his dad was reading The Princess Bride to him. So that's a little fun fact right there. Here is more Alyssa Burke expressive sketching. This was my first try and I really liked how it turned out. So I ended up doing it more on the back of the book. And here is just some fun gluing, a little find your voice, and hey, because she's swimming against the stream there. And that's kind of what we do as artists. We just swim against the stream and we try to find our voice, whatever that looks like intrinsically for us. So I just threw that in there. And I like the colors of the fish. And that's for my Gardening Gun magazine. Here's some testing with my Pitsy Art pens. Pitsy Art, I don't know, I've heard it both ways. Now you have to. The white, I'd give them about a 4 out of 5 because the white wasn't as bright as I wanted it to do, but once I went over it twice, it got brighter. So there's that. Did a little doodling on this. This is some little test papers. There's white on the black of it and just some black testing on that. And this also, and you can kind of see that it's a little bit opaque on the colors. A little bit translucent. The white could be brighter in my opinion, but still not a bad pen. Give it a 4 out of 5. Here's a little fun thing. I found this word, and so I added some painted paper on here, and I learned visually and tactically. If we don't know how we learn, it's really hard to maybe grasp our methods. So figure that out. And if that's why I like to watch videos of other artists, and I get their ideas, and I kind of copy them or make them my own. So that's what I would like for you to do too. Some foods that I'm doing here. Chocolate, salted caramel, dark chocolate, Marie Callender's pumpkin pie. And I don't eat a lot of sugar, but I give myself permission for pumpkin pie. Pumpkin's actually a vegetable, so, right? So don't judge. Okay, moving along. Puzzles. When I get overwhelmed sometimes with these books or with my art, or just life in general, puzzles really help me focus, help me bring down my mind, or even sometimes in the middle of the night when I can't sleep, my brain is just running a million miles an hour. A puzzle will help me do that, help me wind down, help me just refocus. And in puzzles, there's little mysteries that are being solved. So you know you can accomplish something when you're doing a puzzle. This page is an Amber K creative activity that I found on her channel, and it's almost just like what she did, the whole style of it. So, and this was a really good opportunity for me to check out my black and white Pitsy Art pens. The black on the white paint was really good coverage, and you see the white dots too, nice pointed white dots with the small tip of my Pitsy Art's paint pens. And this is in response to the tragic event in Texas this month. So it's kind of a messy page, but I kind of felt messy in my heart when I made it. And I'm also reading Psalms, so I found this found a verse that I took the words that popped out in my mind with. It says, "Oh Lord, how fleeting I am is nothing, a mere breath, a shadow, my hope is in you." And this is a stamp that I had created a while ago, but I did it on tracing paper, and just, man, when things like that happen, and there's also a tragedy in our circle of friends. A young lady took her own life. And when you're trying to figure those things out in life, Lord, just help us, help our minds, help us to find your light, right? Just help us, help us, help us. Anyway, so that's in response to those couple of tragedies this month for me. Kelly Wynn Studios, mini compositions. I want to try more of those and do some fun stuff with that. This is my first try with that. So anyway, and I just added some fun pictures. Lavender Blue Art. One of the inspirations for this little bucket of stamps right here that I created this month. Just fun things that she gave me inspiration to do that I made. The big letters there, I made a big letter stamp like this. I also made a numbers one too, somewhere along. Where did it go? It's not as big, but it's kind of fun too. Oh, wow, you can hardly see it. There you go. Anyway, so I made a number stamp and also in there. And this is a receipt from eBay, an eBay purchase. Here's some of my foods that I like right now. I'm doing a lot of Amy's Organic Soups, another chocolate. And avocados, and you can see the mesh bag that I added. Yes, love my avocados. This is something that I purchased just to get away from some other things that I've been using for skincare. I want to kind of go natural. If I'm going to go on my inside and work on my health, let's work on the outside as well. And so far I like it. It smells really good. The evening lotion that you put on your face got lavender in it. It's nice. It's a really nice smell. And this is a card made in the traditional glue book style from my Garden and Guns magazine. And just some fussy cutting and gluing on that. And I just like the colors on these right here. And I like the art defies expectations. That's kind of what part of what we do, right? It's just whatever we start with doesn't always turn out the way we thought. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. And if it's worse, we can fix it. So Kat Hand has a video out now. She describes her creative process and how she ends up with a finished product. And she has some really good thoughts on what happens while she's working on her project. And it turns out really good all the time for her. So anyway, we can all try, and that's her point. We try. Microns, new microns, love my microns. And I found out that you can use them on paint. This is on actual paint. So I'm a little leery of that with my paint pens because I'm afraid it's going to ruin them. I know Sharpies sometimes will get wrecked if you use them on dark or heavy paint. So, but the microns, I tested them out and they did okay on there. And here's just a few things that I use them on. And this right here is the, Tim Holtz Distress Inks that I was just messing around with. That was a fun play on a background that I created. And here is more Pitsy Art Pen playing. And my latest YouTube binge, one of them anyway, Our Restoration Nation. They go through these historical homes, and they're the cutest couple. They're actually restoring a couple homes too. These are not them. These are pictures I found in one of my garden and guns. And that's the kind of homes that they go and tour and show. It's fun. Music I like now, Jonathan Ogden. If you can find him on YouTube, it's just so mellow. He's got a lo-fi feel, and it's just, man, I got him on a loop almost 24/7 lately. I also listen to iTunes Lo-Fi Station from Apple Music Chill. John Thurlow, he's really mellow, and piano praise, him right there, and very live and intuitive. Phil Kiggy on Pandora and iTunes. He's an exceptional guitarist, and he blows me away with what he can do with the guitar. And I have a couple spaces left here. I just didn't have any other ones that I really listen to right now. And this one I remember filming for you, and you can now see what's gone on with the leaf that I tried to embroider with a blanket stitch. The leaf did not like that. So I think that's I don't know. It's an interesting look, that's for sure. But the other two leaves, it didn't seem to bother as much. So it just makes me wonder. This is an indoor plant. It's a pothos philodendron kind of thing. And these are outdoor plants. So I don't know. And then the feather too. And I used some metallic threads I hadn't used in a while. But just a fun try, a fun experiment in nature's fabric. A garden and gun page, a literal garden and gun page from my magazine that I'm almost out of. My subscription is about to expire. Oh no, what will I do? Anyway, Psalms is what I have been studying for the month of May in my Bible journaling. So, and with David, there's a lot of stuff going on with him. He'll be so happy one minute, and then the next minute his enemies are about to attack him, and he's like, Lord, where are you? Where are you? So I just, in reading him and reading David in the Psalms, I had to come to the point where I had to give thanks, because there's so much heartache in the world, and there's been times when I've had to deal with my own depression. And so I wrote myself a little poem here. I don't need to read it to you, but it's based on Psalms 51, 16 through 17. Basically, it's the Lord saying, or David saying to the Lord, you don't need my sacrifice. You don't need my other than my soul. You want my soul. You want my heart. You want my brokenness. You want my whatever's ugly. You still want that. And I don't know why, but you do. And I just have to give thanks. So anyway, Selah, right? That is my book for this month of May 2022. I hope you enjoyed watching the process of some of these pages that I did in here and seeing the finished product. Maybe you'll make one of these for yourself. Okay, gonna call that video good. Love you guys. Thanks again for coming on over and seeing what I'm doing in my craft room. I'm hoping you are being creative today in some sort or fashion. All right, take care, everybody. And as always, God bless. Bye-bye.